Hello and welcome to another episode of the You Got the Ron Dude podcast. I'm your host, Ron Jammin. Hope you're doing well. This episode, I just had to comment on this because, MrBeast is truly a beast when it comes to making videos and, generating content, getting a bunch of views, numbers, analytics, all that stuff. Very interesting guy. But the opening of the MrBeast Burger, the first physical location in the American Dream Mall, I watched it sometime last month for the first time, and then I watched it last night to take notes, because I just wanted to kind of not prove something, but just comment on why experience is so important when it comes to something like this. But anyways, this is not a hit piece on MrBeast at all. This is just my feelings towards the opening of the place, and especially with that many people showing up. But anyways, let's get into it. Okay, so if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, make sure and check out the video, and it's on Colin and Samir's channel on YouTube. Samir Naga... Oh, not going to work here anymore. Office-based joke. That's not his actual last name, I don't think. But totally separate from the movie. But check out their video. We spent 24 hours with MrBeast. And I'll have a link for you. And it's funny because on the way over here, I was thinking about the Office-based joke. And then I wrote down Samir's name, and I'm like, perfect, there we go. Anyways, we spent 24 hours with MrBeast. I found it really interesting. MrBeast Burger, or even Burger, wasn't mentioned in the title. Not even a hashtag. And Jimmy, I'm sure he'd be like, guys, you got to put it in the title. We got to promote the heck out of this thing. That was day one. But nope. Now, when you watch the video, obviously Jimmy's frustrated. You can understand why. But maybe he told them, yeah, we made a lot of money in that, broke records, but it wasn't fun. It wasn't a success to me. Because if you don't enjoy something, it's like, well, who cares how much money you made if you're miserable? So maybe he told them, just say we spent 24 hours with me and that's it. But who knows? Maybe he'll talk about it. Okay, none of this is in order of the video. Like I said, these are just notes I jotted down. And let me start with, I really respect MrBeast, Jimmy. I like what he does. I actually don't watch his videos at all, but I've watched interviews with him, and I like that he wants to help people and spending what he earns, because it's like you just get to create more. And in one interview, I was shocked when I learned that, you take out loans in that. And it makes sense in that, but I just didn't realize, because you're spending, and then brand deals, maybe they don't pay for a while. But none of this is a knock against Jimmy. At first, it was going to be. I was going to say he should have planned this and that much better. He knew what was coming. But really, it's about whomever was in charge of planning. So, let's start with the no microphone setup. One point in the video, you can tell he's, flustered and frustrated. He's like, Mike, is there a microphone? And he's, doing the signal on that, and he's about to walk away and somebody gives him a mic. But something like that, because the mall, a positive is a mall is a great location, especially for an opening and that many people, because you could look down, see everybody, but you figure someone would be like, oh yeah, we should set up a mic device for Jimmy, because he's probably going to want to talk to people. Say, hey, welcome, we're going to get through everybody, we're going to be open as late as we can. But something like that should have been in place. Now, the stay in the circle game, I wouldn't call it a failure. It's just that seemed like something that was kind of last minute. And I'm not sure why they didn't pre-plan for that. And as far as location, I don't know. If a different location would have been better, maybe on one of the upper levels against a wall or something, so people can't surround it. But something like that, it's like at least everybody in there got 10 grand. But the fact that they had to cut it off early, that's just poor planning. And that's really disappointing. And I don't even know if Jimmy, MrBeast, why do I keep calling him Jimmy? MrBeast had anything to do with that as far as planning in that. Or if it was just a last minute idea. But something like that, it's like, even if you have just hours to prepare, get it figured out. If it's a security issue, you have people surrounding that circle. And, now it's dangerous. So something like that, I think they could have planned a lot better. Jimmy mentioned, I'll just call him Jimmy, whatever. The crowd flow and control, moving people through. He was asking, who's in charge of that? Why wasn't that taken care of? There was obviously no pre-planning. Just we'll just open this place. We're expecting at least 10,000 more or less people. But this is one of the big points to me. I wouldn't go there. I'm not saying nobody went there for the burger. You want to try it. People are there to meet MrBeast, to get a photo, get stuff signed. And yes, they broke the record, the world record. Most burgers served in a day by 3 times. And they made a ton of money. So I'm not knocking the burger, but that's not the experience. They were there to meet MrBeast. And really nobody thought, people just, some people just want pictures with them. And it's like, you didn't consider that? All these people lining up. Yes, people are hungry. Hopefully they packed some food, little snacks, eat at other restaurants in the mall. But no one thought, we should have a line if you just want a photo with Jimmy. Or you stay in the main line to get a burger, and then you can go around and get a photo. Nobody thought of that? That's just downright stupid. This day and age, everybody standing in line, arguably everybody, has their phone out. It's the experience. It's not just the burger, it's MrBeast. By the way, MrBeast Burger, Beast Burger, that's a great name for a burger. I know things didn't work out, but we'll get to that towards the end. And, Jimmy's manager, Reed, I've watched a couple interviews with him, very articulate, but this is the problem when you don't have experience with any of this. Because even he seemed unsure. When they're meeting in that corridor, time and time again, it's like, why wasn't more planning in place? Now, I'm not saying it's Reed's fault either. I don't know. Maybe he has done events like this with other clients, but he wouldn't have a staff or a team in place to handle everything. I don't think they're delusional. People are there to meet MrBeast, to get a photo with him. These days, it's not about what you're selling necessarily. Even Jimmy said, the merch store, he's like, I don't care, give it away. Why do we have a merch store? It didn't seem like everyone was on the same page. So with Reed, it's kind of like, I don't know if he should be managing anyone, because it doesn't seem like he has a lot of experience. Just based on this. And the interviews I've watched, again, I'm not trying to knock him, but something like this, it's like, what are you there for? You're not really helping. Jimmy's getting frustrated. It's like, no, people, you're talking about the future. I'm talking about today. I want everyone happy. We'll get photos. Keep the line moving. He shouldn't have to worry about that stuff. But again, I don't know. Maybe they do have experience with this stuff. And for whatever reason, they just drew a blank and they're like, I don't know, we'll just wing it. Oh, people want photos? Really? But I gotta shout out the restaurant because I like seeing the literal behind the scenes, going into the kitchen. Looked like a great place. I know it's brand new, but still very clean. Even after they were done with service, you're like, it looked like they hadn't even begun yet. It was so clean. And the dishwasher was finishing up. But I like that, before they opened, Jimmy said, everyone, we're going to add $1,000 to to today's paycheck, which is really awesome. Because even though, you have a line of people and that, and you're just busy the whole day, but it's just one after another and that, it's still really nice because they knew, some of those people probably worked the full shift from open to close. And that was probably more or less 12 hours, but at least the restaurant, they were prepared. And that manager guy with the glasses and that seemed to have a good attitude and just like, yeah, this is day one. But one note that I have, and I still want to mention this because I was going to, kind of blame all this on Jimmy, but then you realize, oh no, his job was just to show up, and he didn't even have to stay probably. He could have just left, but it's like, no, people come to see him. Because I wrote down, when he talks about the non-traditional method of making videos online. Because he talked about hiring on people who want to do things the traditional way, or you could call it the old way of, scripting everything. Everything's planned. We got the budget in place. And it's not that he's more lax about that stuff. It's just, well, we don't script stuff. We make sure we get our coverage. We'll film this and go on to that, whatever. And I was thinking of a way to tie it into this with, non-traditional. And I was like, well, that was kind of a dumb move. But I abandoned that because, again, I'm not putting any of this on Jimmy. It's more of the team or teams around him who didn't plan very well. And because really the non-traditional, I understand. I mean, and what he's been doing has been working. The numbers are there. And mid last month, a Twitter user reached out to MrBeast and they were inquiring about the status of MrBeast Burger because I guess they had an issue with ordering. Because they're the ghost kitchens. Basically, my understanding is that you have a business, and during the pandemic, this is one of the reasons that Jimmy started it, is to help businesses. So you'd buy the ingredients, the supplies, whatever you need, and then you'd make the burgers, and then have, DoorDash, Uber Eats, pick them up, deliver them, and I believe you keep most, if not all, of the profits in that. And so that was a good idea, but I'm not really sure the numbers, the metrics on the success rate of that, because if you break even, I'm not sure. But anyways, the video, the Colin and Samir, that was the first physical brick and mortar location. And at the end of the video, they said they wanted to open 5 more, I believe, this year. And I'm not sure what happened with that, but Jimmy, he just said, I enjoy doing Feastables 100 times more. And there were issues with quality control because he couldn't oversee everything. And when you start getting a lot of bad reviews in that, the meat's not cooked all the way, or the burger doesn't look anything like the photo. I mean, you'll find those issues everywhere. But Beast Burger, I still love that name. Not MrBeast Burger, just Beast Burger. It should be massive burgers. But... and again, with the non-traditional, because normally I'd be like, I think you should have a representative reply to something like that. But we're in a different age. It's non-traditional. And I like that he was open about it and addressed the concern head on instead of being like, check back later. He was just like, I like doing this other thing. And with Beast Burger, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. Maybe no physical locations. They'll just keep doing the ghost kitchens. And we'll see what happens with that. And the last of my notes, I wrote down no restaurant experience, no production experience, no college degree in business or anything. And again, this isn't towards Jimmy at all because I was going to, again, put everything on him kind of, but then it's like, no, it's the team or teams around him. And obviously the restaurant, those people had experience. It seemed like enough staff because you figure 10,000 people, we're going to need thousands of workers. But if you've ever worked in a restaurant, you don't want to crowd the kitchen. You can only do so much, but it's just being busy all day long, nonstop. But I was curious, because MrBeast in some interviews, he's good about not repeating himself about I just want to make the best videos ever. It's like, I heard you the first 1,000 times. We get it. So I was curious, why go into the burger business? And it's like, well, the pandemic. You want to help people and businesses out. And I think that's a smart move, especially since, he's very clear, like, he's not trying to make money. It's more like, no, I'm putting money into this. You keep the profits. You stay in business. And maybe we'll see other, ventures like this. Maybe not on as big of a scale, but with, the manager Reed, I question. Because he has experience working with other clients in that, but something like this, I don't know if I could even put it on him or who was really in charge of this operation. Because Jimmy was asking there, who's in charge of flow, crowd flow? You can't get a microphone. You try and set up an event, and it's like, it just seems like maybe Jimmy needed a team just for that event. Because even the security, they didn't have nearly enough. And, you can make excuses about, oh, we only had this much time to prep. But then it's like, well, then plan ahead more. But again, I just want to bring all this up because I think it's important. Because we've seen other YouTubers, and I mean that I've been with YouTube since it started, so I don't say YouTuber to be insulting or anything. I know some people take it that way, but planning events and that, it's like just hire on a team that can do everything, have everything ready for you. So you, the talent, MrBeast, you show up and you don't have to worry about anything. Because, the group photos and that, it's like, no, people want individual photos. He knows that. They should have planned that out. People were there to meet MrBeast. And you get to try the Beast Burger. But it just amazes me. I mean, Reed or nobody else thought, oh, they're going to want photos. It's like, of course. And kudos to Jimmy for being there the entire time. Must have been exhausted. And it sucks to see him be frustrated because it's like, it's not his fault. But anyways, that's going to do it for my notes. And I hope you enjoyed listening to this. And it's all just a learning experience. And even for me, seeing something like that, because you figure, well, a new restaurant, you got this person on YouTube, millions and millions upon millions of subscribers. And this one location, we're expecting about 10,000 people. So maybe somebody should have hired on a team. And even if they don't specialize in this, because maybe they don't have experience, because they're like, well, big YouTube names, we don't get these kind of events often. But at least hire a team to be like, okay, this line is for burgers, this line is for, photos, line for burger and photos and that, but just keep it flowing. Because, like I said, the restaurant, it seems like they did a great job, and we'll find out the fate of Beast Burger. I don't know if, Jimmy wants to go into retail with those, or maybe just keep a few locations open. But, okay, that should do it. But I appreciate you watching and listening. And like, subscribe, rate, review, all that stuff. All my stuff is Ron Jammin', and my music is Ron Jammin' 22. So check that out. I appreciate it, and I will see you next time.